Have you ever been caught off guard by a remark or made you look foolish in front of other people? Have you been involved in an important presentation and all of a sudden you're interrupted? You've just been attacked by a sniper. Hello, my name is Lee and I'm from High Performance Coaching and Training. This video is a part of a series around handling difficult people. And today I'm going to be talking about the personality type of the sniper. Now the sniper, some signs of the sniper is they like to hide, they're very covert, and they like to throw out remarks at a time when you're doing a presentation or when you're in front of people to actually throw you off guard or to discredit you. They also do a lot of non-verbal signals, such as, if you're talking about an important point in a presentation or a topic, they'll do the roll the eyes type of thing and look at other people in the group along the way as well. So they're the people that perhaps could be holding grudges or maybe have missed out on opportunities within the organisation, and they want to do everything they can do to discredit your reputation along the way as well. I remember a time when I was involved with working with some startup business owners, and I was new to the company, and the company had just gone through a lot of change, and they were bringing in external contractors to do the training instead of having the in-house people doing the training along the way. So I was brought in for an assignment to do for 6 months, and what happened was my very first day in front of the business group, I was put in the position of, talking to them about business, and I had no concerns with that because I've been in business since 2001. So I've had a lot of experience with businesses and understand the marketing strategies and the development requirements and the people development that's required in business as well. So I was very confident with my content. However, I was quite new to the policies and the procedures and the rules to the company. So remembering a section towards the end where I was giving a bit of a wrap up and giving some guidance of how I can support them as their trainer throughout their program. And I remember saying, if you've got any concerns or anything else, you can come directly to me. That's quite okay with me. Then all of a sudden, from the back of the room, the manager, who was sitting in the back of the room listening to my presentation, calls out, "You have no right to do that. Everyone has to come through me. If you want any inquiries, it has to come through me or the state manager. Lee has not got the authority for you to go directly to her." Now, this was quite disheveling for me, and it took me off guard. And of course, it took my focus away from the content that I was delivering. And I thought to myself afterwards, what was going on here? Look, I've never experienced a manager within an organisation to actually, to do that type of behaviour and discredit someone so quickly in front of a group of students along the way as well. So I started to understand and did research on that and understand that, maybe she was threatened because the company had changed their policies and they were bringing in external contractors. Or maybe it was the fact that I had a lot of experience in business and I was doing a lot of my own input and my own observations and perceptions in the content as well. So I was adding to the content and not just reading from the book, which she does previously, because she's always been an employee and she's never had the real life experience. Anyway, I was a threat to her and she wanted to undermine me. So that's the sort of behaviours or what snipers do. So just recapping on the signs of a sniper. They like to hide, so they'll hide and they'll throw out remarks, and they usually do that in front of people so that they actually discredit you and you start to lose your reputation and your focus in whatever you're presenting along the way as well. They also send out, they use a lot of sarcasm, and they use a lot of sarcasm with humour along the way as well. And what they do then is they rally a lot of people around them to, again, to validate and get attention, and to actually undermine you along the way as well. And a lot of that's caused in organisations could be through grievances such as missed out opportunities for promotion, or maybe, simply they don't get along with you along the way as well. So obviously there's conflict there as well. I want to talk a little bit about third-party sniping first before I go into the steps of handling the sniper during a presentation. So third-party sniping is, when you get an informant and they tell you that so-and-so's been speaking about you, this is the conversation. Now, I want you to stop and really be a leader around this, because sometimes the informant themselves, perhaps they're the sniper. Perhaps it's them that's sniping and not the other person, or they're blowing or exaggerating things to gain attention from you so that they get in the good books with you, for example. So just be aware of that first in the back of your mind, because it's like anything, until you have that conversation directly with that person, you don't really know what's going on. So then you would then, have that conversation directly with that person who's doing the sniping, and have that discussion around, your assertive skills and, and all your skills that you have around conflict, so that you can come to an understanding, so that you can cooperate within the organisation together along the way as well. Remembering that's very important, because the sniper, their biggest goal is to hide. They don't want you to know. They're very covert. So by you exposing their position, it can be enough to actually stop them from sniping, so they know they're not going to get away with it anymore. Let's look at some action steps. Say if you were in a presentation, or you're with a group holding a meeting and someone's doing the sniper attack for you as first. So the very first thing you have to do is you've got to stop, look, and backtrack. So stop means you would need to interrupt yourself. So whatever you're talking about, you need to address the issue straight away. As soon as they throw the mark out, you need to address it straight away. So you need to interrupt yourself. The second thing that's important is looking at the person, directly at the person, and find out who the sniper is. So that means you've exposed them. They're actually come out of hiding. And of course, then you're going to backtrack. So backtrack is you're going to, like paraphrase, you're going to repeat back the remark that they threw out, or the sarcastic, or the humour that they've thrown at you to disrupt you along the way as well. So when you're doing that, the next part is you're going to shine the spotlight on them. So you're going to ask some searchlight questions to shine, so everyone turns their attention to the sniper and not to you. So with doing that, some of those questions you're going to ask, there's two types of questions you need to ask. One is, what's the intent around that comment? So what's the intention around the comment? Or the second question you could ask is, how is this relevant to the topic that we are talking about today? So this is where you bring your backtracking in, and you combine it with either your intention question or the relevance question along the way as well. So you could say something like, I could talk about something like with Melissa, when she threw that out at me in back of the room in my story, beginning of it could be, I understand, oh, okay, so all the strategies have to go through you, all the information has to go through you and the state manager. However, what's your intent in the way that you actually corrected me in front of all these students? So I can do something like that, for example. So that would be an intention question, more so than a relevance question in that situation along the way as well. And that may be enough, because now our goal, remember our goal, always go back to our goal is to get the sniper out of hiding. So then what might happen then is the sniper may then turn into a tank. Okay, so remember the tank is a very direct, very aggressive, very dominating, very impatient person. They fire, they shoot, and they're away from there. And, It's good to expose the sniper, and if they turn into a tank, that's actually better, because now you kind of know where you stand. You're not trying to hide. You know where you stand with that person, because a tank, if they've got an issue with you or anything like that, they're up front. They'll tell you up front, and at least you know where you stand with the tank. So if the sniper comes out of hiding, they may turn to a tank. If they turn to a tank, then do the tank strategies that were actually talked about in the previous video. If you haven't got a copy of the previous video, if you send me a message, contact me, I can give you the link to that video for you to view, to have a look at the tank strategy along the way as well. So you've been in the presentation, you've interrupted yourself, you've focused on the sniper, and you've asked the Searchlight question of what's going on. So after the meeting is finished, then you may start to go on a grievance patrol. So then you would, have a conversation in person with this person, obviously trying to, we always use our good skills of first you need to understand before you're understood. You would go through what's going on for them, have some empathy, having that communication, but you would also set your boundaries and your expectations of professionalism within the team, and, as a person who wants to have respect, and, you set those boundaries along the way as well. So that's important with that as well. Then obviously during that conversation, to finish it off, you're talking about how can we have a civil future? How can we cooperate and work professionally well together so both of us feel respected within the organisation? So you're looking at the outcome. What do you want to achieve? One good thing is to always look at the code of ethics and the code of conduct of the organisation. So hopefully the organisation have the team alignment strategies in place where they have behaviours and values and vision. So you would go up to talk about the vision and the values and the code of conduct, and being able to come work and being able to come to work, both of us feeling less tension, feeling more relaxed and feeling like we want to cooperate and actually be there together along the way as well. The most important thing too is not to overreact. So when they're doing, remember the sniper, the more that you overreact with them, the more they're going to do it, because they're knowing their strategy is working. So if they're trying to get you to, I suppose, dishevel you, to get you to have a to get you to look as though you're incompetent, and they know you're overreacting with that, they're going to do it more and more and more, because they know that they can get away with that along the way as well. So do your assertiveness, do your conflict management strategies, and have that one-on-one conversation with them as well. The other thing is I want you to look at is we've got to distinguish between friendly sniping and malicious sniping. So friendly sniping, they're people who snipe not from the intent of discrediting you or anything like that. That's how they behave. That's one of their behaviour traits that they have. So what they may do is, like, some people, they'll laugh and things like that when someone falls over or something like that. It's a way that they relieve their pressure or whatever. So it could be in a situation where it's really quiet or no one's responding and they want to actually break the silence. So what they'll do is they'll throw out a bit of a humour or whatever to gain attention to themselves and actually to break that silence up as well. So, these people are quite friendly and they're not doing it in a way that they want to actually, on purpose, want to actually discredit you in front of other people. So those people are easy to talk to. You'd have that conversation on one-on-one basis, and you would talk to them about, your value system, how those comments impact you personally. And usually the friendly snipers, they will understand that. and then they will stop doing that along the way as well, because they want to get along with you. They're not doing it maliciously. Whereas a malicious person, it's a whole completely different conversation, because they do it maliciously for you along the way as well. So I have got a boot camp coming up, a 6-week on demand. So it's online with follow-up coaching coming up around conflict management. So if conflict is something that you want to deal with more effectively and like to go on the course, you want to find some more information about my course, I'll put some information on at the end of the video for you to look at the links and have a look at that as well. And my next video is going to be on the grenade. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and talk to you again.